I did it. Okay, let me back up. You've probably heard of those 30-day October art challenges, and you may even have heard of one called cringetober. Now, I am an active Tumblr user, so I've been seeing this challenge for the past month, and I finally decided I wanted to participate. Unfortunately, I decided this on October 28th, which meant that I had no choice but to complete the entire 31-day art challenge in 4 days. But I did it. Day 1 was heterochromia, you know when your eyes are two different colors. Naturally, I picked the blue-eyed, green-eyed, recently non-binary icon himself, Frankie Stein from Monster High. I always loved this franchise as a kid, even though I never had the dolls. I just knew that classic monsters as teenage girls was the cool shit. Originally, I was going to spend 10 minutes on each piece, but I discovered that this was not remotely possible due to the person I am. But this specific piece I took about 10 minutes for, and I kinda think it shows. Day 2 was self-insert, and I wanted a style I could execute quickly, so I turned Ridley into an Animal Crossing villager. This is a game I've never played. I'm not really much of a gamer, to be honest, but it does have such a cute style and really delightful music, and I think Ridley translated pretty well. I like how this came out, I'm not gonna lie. Day 3 was unnecessarily complex outfit. I don't usually indulge in this. I'm actually more the type who has trouble coming up with any outfit. But I do have one OC whose central gag is having an unnecessarily complex outfit. This is the man named of Drusian, and I made him by putting everything on in my closet and then just deciding I really liked the person I became. He's kind of an Alice in Wonderland pastiche, over-the-top, colorful, very much of the era, but I like him a lot. Day 4 was Angel X Demon, and I could have gone the easy route and drawn Good Omens, but no, I reached into my past, and I drew supernatural cat boys. If you weren't in the Super Who Locked trenches in 2013, you might not be able to imagine the emotions I'm experiencing right now. All I can say is that I'm really mad that this actually came out dope as hell. I slapped down a cat that looks exactly like Mark Shepard on the first try, and I don't know how. But honestly, and I hate to say this is hot. Day 5 was MS Paint, and I don't have a Microsoft computer, but JS Paint is a really good paint emulator online. To capture the spirit of the prompt, I drew this on my desktop with my mouse, and it was hell. I used to really enjoy drawing in this program in elementary school. Memories which used to be fond, but which have now been dashed because of the suffering I went through on this day. Drawing with your mouse is a unique goddamn torture, but it's okay. I drew my Pokisana, who is a fusion of a ferret and an emolga, and frankly the program lent itself to a kind of fun, pixel art feel. I even like how the flat colors look. I'm honestly not mad at this piece, even though it's wiggly. Day 5 was Neko or other animal features. This was confusing to me since I've been drawing furries pretty much this whole time, and I wish I'd known this before I drew supernatural cat boys for Day 4. But I decided to turn Abner Krill from the Suicide Squad, the world's saddest sopping wet catman, into a catman. Honestly, I don't like how the face on this came out, which is a shame, but since I had already spent like a full day on the first 4 pieces, I really needed to get a move on. I'd already given up on the 10 minutes per thing by this point. That one took like half an hour. Day 7 was Pinterest art bases. In my day, these were on DeviantArt, and even then, I never really used them. I think this was my first time indulging. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really get anything out of it, but the base is cute, and it had attribution on it, which is improbable. Day 8 was Tumblr Sexy Man. As I mentioned, I've been on Tumblr, on the front lines of the war on cringe, on the side of cringe, for about 10 years now. I've seen Tumblr Sexy Men come and go. Some of them I regret, some of them I don't. I've never regretted Robbie Rotten. This is a great character, played by a great actor, from a hilarious TV show, and I highly recommend it. I love how this piece turned out. I'm really mad that I blew that great hand on Robbie Rotten, but it's okay. Oh, he's so cute. Rest in peace, Stefan. Day 9 was crossover ship, so I drew fan art for Golden Blonde and Jet Black. This is a crossover edit that I was lucky enough to see on YouTube when I was 12 and queer, and it made me a different person. I rewatched it for this drawing, and I will admit I bawled like a child. It's rough. I mean, the audio mixing is painful, the tracking is dubious, all of that. But there's a reason it has 53 million views. Go check it out. This is their personas, anyway. Day 10 was Fursona. Uh, yeah, that's me. So I just did a quick self-portrait, and it actually came out really cool. I think my drawings are more expressive when I'm forced to draw that fast. I might start using this as my icon, honestly. The smile is just so big and goofy, there's something I really enjoy about it. I was a third of the way through by the evening of October 30th, so I really needed to step up my pace. The prompt for day 11 was yandere, and I've never really liked that genre. I didn't wanna, so I just didn't do it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, but what about the challenge where you just didn't do it? Oh, then you didn't. Listen, one of the core tenets of cringe is that you can go home if you're not having fun. I wouldn't have had fun, so I went home. Day 12 was niche interest. I'm pretty sure I only have niche interests, so I tried to pick something that would be niche, even for the people who are participating in cringetober, and that is commedia dell'arte. It's a renaissance form of improvisational theater using stock characters and masks. I made the character Arlecchino into a kitty cat. I actually want to do a longer video on commedia dell'arte and how it can inform furries as a form of art that involves masks and embodying a character. But for now, you just get Arlecchitty Cat. Day 13 was creepypasta, and there's only one creepypasta that I've, for whatever reason, ever gave a fragment of a shit about, and that is Splendor Man. Now, it's kind of cheating to do a character that's not even technically creepy and is just from, like, a joke video made by Neil whatever his name is. But I like this guy. He's bright, he's colorful, he's literally just nice. People draw him spooky, but they're simply incorrect. This is a simple piece, but it's cute. On day 14, by which I mean yesterday afternoon, I hit a sudden art block. Like you know how sometimes you just can't art good? That's where I was at. So to fix that, I just drew very simply. Day 14 was candy gore, and that's something I've never really partaken in, but it was fun to try. I'll have to censor it pretty heavily. Even though it's brightly colored, it's still, some intestines, and I don't think YouTube will like that for me. This is Benry from a web series called Half-Life VR, but the AI is alive, or something. The nice folks at Black Mesa made him quasi-immortal, but you should really stop messing with those. Day 15 was song lyrics, so I shuffled my playlist again and again and again until I got something I liked, which was Zombina and the Skeletones' You'd Scream If You Knew What I Did Last Halloween. It's like a horror punk doo-wop song, so I did a poodle in a poodle skirt, and I think we can all tell what she did last Halloween. I highly recommend you check out this band if you like vintage stuff and Scooby-Doo chase music. It's a super unique sound. This is one of my favorite pieces from the whole challenge. Day 16, Object Head. I have an entire cast of Object Head characters that I haven't touched in years and years and have never really done anything with. But as an homage to my teenage self, I redrew one of the main characters from that universe, Knucklebones, man with dice forehead. I don't really do Object Head stuff anymore, 'cause I don't like coming up with outfits, I just like doing faces, and they don't have faces. But I still really like this man, and I like putting him through the ringer. This piece was very time-consuming. Speaking of stuff that was very time-consuming, day 17 was fake anime screenshot. I don't really have a background in anime. I don't really like working in that style, but I decided to do Roger and Jessica Rabbit in, well, her in a style that's kind of like the Rainbow Magic animated movie, and him kind of riffing Haru from Beastars. I will be honest with you, I hated every minute of this. The brush I was using was so unforgiving. But at least I feel like I made an interesting implication that there's an anime of Roger and Jessica Rabbit. Hell, I'd watch that. For day 18, Old Art Redraw, I picked one of the earliest digital art pieces that I still have. This is probably from 2015? I actually hate how the final piece of this came out. I think I was trying to do something really different from the original, so I tried like a totally different workflow and style, and I don't know, I just got lost in the weeds. Which is a shame. I'd like to try, redrawing this piece again someday when I don't have as tight of a deadline. Again, let me stress, I was supposed to be spending 10 minutes each on these. I had spent over an hour on several of them. Not this one, though. This one was for Day 19 Dolls/Puppets. I did the ventriloquist and Scarface, who are a pair of Batman villains, except I made the ventriloquist into a pigeon, 'cause he kinda has that energy. I mean, like a fancy pigeon. I think he's cute. Nice and simple, no complaints, met the prompt, check. Let's move on. Day 20. Day 20 was Hanahaki disease. It's that thing where you throw up flowers 'cause your love is unreciprocated or you haven't confessed or something. I kinda hate it, I almost skipped it, but I thought back to a time when I had been in love and unwilling to talk about it. And I guess it does kinda come with that feeling like you're physically choking on something. That was when I was a teenager, so I used my persona that I made when I was about that age, who was a plush bat. It's kind of fun to revisit him. Day 21 was 100% saturation, and I'm definitely guilty of this. Like, I'll be honest, I still draw that way. But instead of going like a loud clown route, I just did this very bright drawing of Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House, my dear old friend. I think this was a good choice, 'cause you can't really make fun of a grown man's drawing of Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House, 'cause, there's clearly a little something going on there. Day 22 was maid dress/sailor uniform, and I just figured out that they might have just meant sailor, like, in the Navy, but I thought they meant Sailor Moon, so I drew Ridley in a Sailor Moon outfit, which is fine. I think I deserve some slack for being a good sport and drawing myself with a highly grabbable little slut waist. Let's move on. Day 23 was memes, so I drew Preminger because I do kind of wish to know him biblically. Don't ask any follow-up questions. I drew him as a weird dog because this is my furry channel and that's kind of what I've been doing this whole time. Um, when I was working on this piece, it was about 2 a.m., and I distinctly remember thinking that this design was so cool. And, I don't know how I feel about it now. It's definitely unique. It's definitely Preminger as a weird dog. What more can you ask for? Day 24 was My Little Pony. I was starting this piece at 2 a.m. and I did not feel like learning how to do that style, so I just drew Equestria Girls Applejack as a buff, butch horsewoman. That's within my wheelhouse. I've seen the first couple of episodes of Friendship is Magic, and I honestly really enjoyed it. I might come back to it someday. I get how you would watch it as a grown man and discover that it's like a really good fantasy epic and be like, oh no, this is my personality now. We're now entering the morning of today, Halloween. And if Gajinkas are cringe, then so am I, 'cause that's one of my biggest passions. Um, I rolled a random Animal Crossing villager, and I got this cute alligator woman with a lot of makeup, and I liked her vibe. So, yeah, here she is. I think she had a really cool outfit. I just think everything about her translated really well to a human woman. I'm obsessed with this woman, honestly. Look at her. Day 26, all edge, no point. My high school motto. When I was in my edgy teenage phase, there was definitely a few, like, mascots thereof. One of the big ones was Sweeney Todd. A teenager will really look at a man who's been driven mad by the suicide of his wife and his wrongful imprisonment and is now killing at random because he thinks everyone deserves to die, and say, oh, he's just like me, for real, for real. Because I too sometimes get mad at my parents and schooling. I'm basically Christ on the cross. Hey, wait, is this one an accidental pun? All edge, no point? Like a razor? Oh, I like that. Day 27 was baby girl pose. You can hear me getting angrier because I accidentally spent, like, an hour on this one. I was doing this at noon today. I had so many pictures left to do. It's infuriating. I just can't work fast. I have to render the shit out of everything. Anyway, this is like a baby girl pose. I did it on Joel Pyro from the Maltese Falcon. played to perfection by Peter Lorre. If you haven't seen this movie, get some culture. We're in the home stretch now. Day 28 was alt-fashion. It took me a while to figure out why that was cringe, but I think it's just like, punk edits of characters or YouTubers or whatever. I get that. I decided to redraw maybe the best photograph ever taken, which is Boris Karloff in these amazing, like, crust punk, shit-kicking platform boots as Frankenstein, doing this Instagram baddie pose. So I redrew it with alt-fashion from the last time I was hip, which was like 2019. Frankenstein's monster is the OG emo, and I stand by that firmly. 29. This was at like 2 p.m. today by this point, was hot villain, bonus points if female. Luckily for me, there is, in fact, a lady villain I've been moderately obsessed with recently, Captain Vadic from Star Trek Picard. I think it was so brave of Star Trek to have a woman who is this strongly rat-coded. Look at her. She's perfect. Her acting is so fun. She's perfect. She's an insane rat woman. What more could you want? I love her. If this isn't a hot villain, I don't know what is. Day 30 was video game, and they suggested Undertale or FNAF, which I thought about doing pretty hard, but ultimately I decided to pay homage to the shoo-in for Game of the Year and possibly Character of the Year, Ass Starrington from Tony Hawk's Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think he's considered cringe yet, but people like him, so give it time. Anyway, I like him, completely by accident. He's voiced by the guy who voiced Preminger. Wait, that's not an accident. That makes perfect sense. Anyway, listen, I drew him as a bunny, 'cause I think he's bunny-coded. Look at him. That's him. Wait, this is just hot bunnicula. Fuck! And I was there. Day 31. Halloween. I agonized over what to do for this for just a minute because I love Halloween so much. But then I realized I've been so busy with this challenge that I haven't gotten to enjoy Halloween at all, and it's almost over. So I decided the best thing I could do for Halloween would be to finish this drawing as quickly as possible and go have fun. So that's what I did. Happy October. Happy Halloween. I'm proud of myself. I'm gonna go eat some candy. Bye.